This is Bangalore Rock. This is brown-skinned Indian people playing Western instruments and singing in English. But it isn't fusion. It isn't the bringing together of different styles, different ethnic instruments, different motifs. It is, we believe, an identity all by itself. Call it a musical distillate of a socio-cultural, economic example of modern urban India. It's who, what, and how we are. And after 15 years of commitment to this expression, it's also what we do for life, for love, and for money. So after all the big words, here's a little word that you have to say. Can you say, hey? Come on, say hey. Okay, that's a very sophisticated TED hey. Now think about a buffalo crossing the road, something we all see in India all too often. Think of that buffalo and now say, hey. See? Yeah, we all see eye to eye on this. When you see that buffalo, you can only say, hey, and not, hey. Okay? Here's a song about us. Look, go ahead, look at me, black hair, brown eyes, brown man, never mind the goatee. Oh yes, I'm from the exotic East. The heat, the dust, the burden of the beast, the smells, the spices, and the mystery of people trying, just trying to be. Come on. Hey, 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 say it. Hey, hey, hey. I speak 4 tongues. Hell, here we all do. And we find the space to think in yours too. Yes, I'm cool and mean. I play that rock and roll. Rock and roll. I don't use gasoline. I get around on petrol. The Empire went back and Luke Skywalker came, but Asha still sells on 45 fame. Then John, Paul, George, and the other guy crossed the universe and got real high. Don't you see it yet? Don't you see it yet? Toast in the morning, but you can't take away my full meals by the wayside. I even like Chinese, you know, that mean chow, but mama tears me down when I eat that holy cow. Hey, 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 hey. It's an odd situation every time I realize that I'm foolish with pounds when my brothers are not even penny wise. But I got my karmic law and all, except so much so easy. I'm a rampant intellectual with my glass of bubbly. Woo. Hey, 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 say it. Hey, hey, hey. Don't you see it yet? 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 Don't you see it We're so cool. Thank you very much indeed. That song was just a little bit about the amazing mix of extremes that this country is all about. We have bipolar, completely opposite things existing at the same space, in the same moment even. I, for example, happen to be a Tamil Brahmin, whom we call a Tambram. Like we call Bengalis bongs, we call Tambrams. And you know what my name is? It's Bruce Lee Money. I kid you not, it's on my driving license, it's on my passport. My dad was a fan, so he called me Bruce Lee Money. Apart from the entertainment value of such a name, nobody believes it at the first shot, but this is crazy. Here's a Tambram from South India called Bruce Lee Money. And like I say, I love my sambar and my rasam, but I can also enjoy a nice slice of Swiss Gruyere cheese or a porterhouse steak. You know, I can be all very sophisticated. So this is this polar mix that India is all about. We're the richest country and the poorest country at the same time. We're the most developed country and the most underdeveloped at the same time. We're the biggest producer of food and we're not the biggest producer of food at the same time. There's some truly inspirational things happening here tonight, and this is what inspires us to write our music. We've often been accused of aping the West. Yeah, you guys play guitars and you sing in English, you have no connection with your roots and so on, but we beg to differ. This is who we are. We went to English schools, we think in English, but we grew up listening to a lot of our own traditional folk music. It's just that we choose to express ourselves in this language and this medium, that's all. Here is an interpretation of a Western thing, a blues, done in a very South Indian style. I don't know how many South Indians there are here, but even if there aren't, you all understand folk music, because folk music is just the simplest thing to understand. And folk music is characterized by its very body rhythms. And this is a rhythm that we call the tapanguchi in South India. And this is our version of the blues to that rhythm. If some of you feel like standing up and shaking some booty, please do so. we're standing high and high. If the blues is for sinners, that leaves me standing high and high. Is there anybody gonna save me? Or do I really have to cry? Is a woman, then if the blues is a woman, then if the blues is a woman, then I really want some more. If the blues is a sorrow, then why does it smell of me? If the blues is made of sorrow, then why does it smell of me? I'm a brown man from a strange land, but it really is the color of my misery. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Back there on the drums, my partner in crime for the last 16 years, Mr. Rajiv Rajgopal.
Hi everyone. So just a quick thing on Dream, Dare and Do. That's what our topic is about today. So yeah, so Bruce and me started this band 16 years ago, and this is how the story goes. We started with 1,000 rupees in our pockets and said we're going to go and record this song and we're going to go make it big and whatever. I know, now that sounds just like a Bollywood film script. While most of that is true, I mean all the drama and all the masala and fighting corrupt politicians and all of that is true. The small twist to this whole thing was that the sale was very difficult. We were in 1996. It was like as if we were trying to sell sushi at a idli sambar hotel. You know, I mean, it was totally different what we were doing. Nobody got it. Nobody understood it. There were concerts, IIMs and IITs and all these places had a lot of concerts, but the norm was bands would just go and play cover music. They'd play music by Metallica and Iron Maiden and all of that. And the crowds were also going there for that. That was the hip thing to do, to go into concerts and scream out for covers. And a lot of bands did that, but we didn't. We went and we tried playing our own songs, I mean, to much larger audiences than this, and that was a dare in itself, you know, trying to go there. These were hostile crowds, and even though the guys called Bruce Lee, no one got scared. They were like, okay, man, play your Metallica. Where the hell's your Metallica? Why aren't you doing that? And me sitting behind them, I was like the lame duck. I mean, target practice. So yeah, the first 5-6 years was incredibly difficult. We would get invites to play at a lot of festivals, but they just send us a list of covers and we'd politely decline. That's when we weren't behaving like rock stars. Otherwise, we'd go up and just do our thing. And yeah, I mean, it took a long while. We lost a lot of business, a lot of big, high-paying gigs we lost. A lot of other bands in India were going out there and milking it, doing well. But while we lost, while we lost a lot of business, what we gained was we found our sound. We took all that time, we just went back and kept making our music and saying, this is what we love doing and we're just going to keep doing it. So we did that, we found the money to record, we put out the songs, and then came the whole deal about getting people to actually want to listen to what you do. I mean, so it's not an easy thing, because in a strange way, while we were trying our best not to ape the West, it's not strange, it's kind of ironic that the audience was aping the West. They would only want to listen to whatever some DJ in the UK would say, even if it's a crazy frog, and everyone would just go and listen to it, spend a whole lot of time and money and effort. But they just had this whole stigma about listening to an Indian band that sings in English. So we did the whole thing. We went, begged and pleaded, got all our friends to come to pubs and gigs and watch our stuff. And there's this, it was a pretty long, kind of a rite of passage, if you may say so, for bands like ours, that we keep doing this, putting out our music. And then finally, people started taking notice that, okay, there is something in this Bangalore Rock thing. They're talking about us, they're talking about what we are like, they're talking about the good things about this country, they're talking a lot about the really difficult and bad things about this country. Sometimes we get really affected by some stuff that happens when we put out a lot of music related to that too. And finally, yeah, it's been 15 years, and we last year we released our fifth album, 3 Wheels, 9 Lives, and it charted. It went onto the charts, and we were #1 for the first 7 to 8 weeks, and we were competing with heavyweights like Barfi, I think that was just released, and also it was Ganesha Puja time, so there was some devotional music also out there, and some of our stuff did well for the first 7 weeks, and we've sold a whole lot of CDs now, and kind of, it's taken time. It's become our full-time career doing music, and all of us do this for a living, and today we're also proud to say that we've set up our own little ecosystem in Bangalore, where a lot of other musicians like us who have dared to dream and do their own thing, we give them opportunities to teach and also push their bands and their music forward. So thanks a lot. Yeah, there are around almost 6 or 7 really great bands in Bangalore. Guys are trying to make it professional and do it. So we've set it up in such a way that they're given all the freedom to go out there and record and do their gigs and all of that. But also, make some fixed amount of salary a month by teaching students. And it works both ways. It works really good for the students because they're being taught by professional musicians who are touring, and they're kind of proud to interact with musicians who are touring. And for the bands, it's even greater because all these students just going back there and talking about all the teachers and all the bands that they play for. So yeah, it feels like we've done something with that sushi thing. Maybe we are actually taking the idli sambar to a sushi bar and trying to sell it, and it's working in some strange way. So thanks, Ted, for giving us this opportunity. And yeah, usually all of this is done over a whole lot of old monk and things like that. But yeah, to be in this great venue doing this, thanks a lot. Yeah.
We're going to close with the song about the Indian auto rickshaw. I don't know if you have auto rickshaws in Ranchi. Do you? Do they have meters? They don't. Wow, this is even better. Okay, so how does he decide how much to charge you? Just by the look on your face. The font size of sucker written on your face, right? So, big font size, lots of money. Yeah, so in Bangalore we do have meters, but more often than not, the auto driver will look at you, make a quick assessment, and then usually say, meter mele 1.5. So this is a very complex bit of mathematics. I'm sure you IIM types will be able to crack it, but we, musicians always have a job doing it. But, so is it like 1.5 times over the meter? Is it meter plus half again? Whatever. Either you're being robbed. So we wrote this song about the adventures you can have in an Indian auto rickshaw, and it's called Meter Mele 1.5. life is so unfair, still got to pay the auto fare. Money to burn at the shallow soiree. Got to get the old wheels out of the covers tonight. But the plugs are shut, and all I've got is just one chance with her to make it right. Call the no-show cabin, just made me crowded, all dressed up and nobody cares. She didn't bring it on with my three-wheel car. This life is so unfair, still gotta pay the auto fare. Meter mele one and a 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 half. Here I am, lost and alone, in a shortcut, roach-bitten cabriolet. Dead air on the sail. This is a party from hell. So I tell the man, why don't you stop and ask for the way? Three or four gents, kindly souls, all get their hands on the finger and put on the skin. I will leave my cash accounts gone. Life is so unfair, still gotta pay the auto fare. Say it. Meter mele one and a 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 half. It's Rajiv on the drums, Leslie on bass. My name is Bruce.